Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and this is a whipping it with me kind of video, and I thought I'd have a go at doing some more to my boggy creek, but oh, there we are, it's the top. Okay, so where are we? Oh, a bit more than I thought I had left there anyway, so we'll have to go. I had a bit of a time of it. I don't know why this happens to me, but I have trouble sometimes with my wool winder, and I'm not sure if it's just me. I don't think it can be just me, but yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance. Sometimes it winds and I get a lovely cake, and other times I just get a lovely mess. And today it was mess. And then the center of this one is another one. In the end, I just decided, you know, I've had enough of this. I'm going to be here all day, so I'm just going to get on and you know, wind it up into a big round. So yes, not successful, but I've got a bit of a theory as to why it happens. It is very annoying, and I do like to have my wool genie, which, you know, a bit impossible. So yeah, that won't really be good. So I feel a little bit less congested today, but I have been blowing my nose every well, it seems like every 5 minutes. So I'm hoping that I can get through this video like without, because it's quite clear at the moment, but it's a weird virus that I have. It's not COVID, it's just a normal kind of cold, if there are such things as normal ones these days. Unfortunately, they've always these days they take on different kind of, let me just see if I can get it to go down a little bit. There we are. They take on no, it's only asking me if I want to shoot from more angles. No. Where was I? I've forgotten now. Yeah. Oh yeah, modern colds. They're all very weird anyway. But this is bizarre, this one. As soon as you think, oh good, I'm a bit less congested and it's going, then something kind of just comes along and says, no, oh no, oh no, you're gonna suffer for more. And yeah, but I've passed it on to poor Gary, so whereas he was looking after me with the chicken soup and all of that, it's kind of now, you know, he's not able to do that. So we're kind of, I think I'm got to be coming out the other side of it now. Every time I think that, though, you know, it just comes back. One of those that, you know, just has that recurring thing going on. Anyway, been a while since I did some to this boggy creek, because obviously I was getting on with it, and then I needed to cake up the yarn. Plus I was going on holiday, and so life took on, you know, a bit of a different thing where I was getting to try and do videos before I went. I did plan on doing one of these, but obviously I didn't cake the yarn, so that didn't really work out. But never mind, I did lots of videos while I was here to pop up while I was away, and then I did videos while I was away to pop up, and some of them even popped up once I was back. But then, of course, I was ill, so I've got a little bit behind now because of that. But on the upside, I do have a nice cup of tea. It's still a bit hot, yep. Nice cup of biscuit tea. While I was away, I did miss that. I mean, it was all right having, I mean, you can't really get the teas that you're used to when you're in the US. But Starbucks had an English breakfast tea, and the little cafe thing inside our hotel had morning tea. One of them had afternoon tea, so you could just keep moving around to get the tea. But it wasn't the same. Not it wasn't too bad for me, but I don't think Gary enjoyed it because the milk isn't the same when you go anywhere. You know, even if we were to go Spain, the milk isn't the same. So that's in the past. That's why I've not enjoyed tea when I've been away. But now I have black tea. It tastes the same everywhere, really, which is a good thing for me. But yeah, I think Gary enjoyed the half and half though. We went to, what shop did we go to? I think it was Walmart, and we went into the cafe there, and he had half and half in his coffee, and I think he just said, I wish we did something like that. And the times I've read a recipe and it's called for half and half, and I think, oh, should I just get like half milk and what? Water? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. So I think it'd be like a mixture of skimmed and semi-skimmed. Surely that's what it is. I don't know. I have no idea. But Gary asked me today, would you go back? Because he often says this. He often says it. We said it while we were out there. Would you come back again? Would you go to Vegas again? So I said, well, all the time we leave things to do, then there's a reason to go back. You know, we want to go to the sphere. I don't know if you saw my video, the short with the robot. That's just a projection on the outside of the sphere, and they do show quite a lot. There's a loop of them, but I only saw that robot once. The others I saw more often, but that was incredible. I cannot imagine what it'd be like on the inside. So yeah, we do want to do the sphere and maybe see a band in the sphere or something like that. Would be really cool. But unfortunately, while we were there, they only really had things like that just before we were there and just after we were there, but not while we were there. This is a bit too high, this countertop. It's hard for me to crochet leaning on there. I noticed that before. Oh, you know, it really annoys me when I get trouble with my winder. I always feel like it's me. It's something I'm doing wrong, maybe. And yet, I do the same thing every time. I thread it the same way. I wind it the same way. But then all of a sudden you get a little slack bit and that's it. It locks up. Just very annoying. I just can't seem to, you know, I can't seem to get on with them that well. And I found they've been brilliant when I'm doing hanks. It's just when I'm winding a ball to a ball. Or, you know, no, it did work out for me when I did the scrap cake. Heaven above knows why. I don't get it. So I did see another one that I fancied getting, and I might give it a try. Be my last kind of wool winder, I think. I won't buy another one after this. But I wanted to get them because I can stock them in my shop, but they are not cheap ones. That's the only thing. They're not cheap. I know none of them are really. If you get the good brands, then they're not, but get off. So we went to today we went out. The trouble when you're both under the weather is neither of you fancies cooking. So we waited for the postman to come and collect my orders for my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk. And they have all that. Once they'd gone, we went to, well, Gary wanted to go to a butcher's, but we didn't actually go in the end. And we had to book his car in to be looked at. So we did that. And we just went and had breakfast. And then he needed some jogging bottoms, that sort of thing, just to lounge around in. And he very kindly bought me a nice pair of trainers. I'd show them to you, but they're not in here. Very snazzy. They're actually the most expensive pair of trainers that I've ever had in my life, because usually I get them when they've gone really value trainers, you know. They might have been middle of the road expensive when they were new, but when they're kind of gone, you know, they've had about like 5 or 6 new ones since, then they go down. And so normally I get them. Most I've ever sort of plunge into trainers is usually about £40. Don't really go any more than that because I'm too stingy. But these ones are kind of pretty cool. So I did want to get a pair that wouldn't get wet, you know, when you're out and it rains, because at the moment all it's doing is raining. I looked on the phone to see what the weather was going to be like over the next 3 days, and every day was a really good chance, really good percentage chance of rain. I'm about to go rusty at this rate. People always used to say that when I was a kid, because I had red hair. It would be, oh, you've been out in the rain too long, look, you've gone rusty. Everybody that said it thought they were the first, and it was hilarious. Imagine after the 150th time you just wanted to punch him. Luckily I didn't do things like that, but, you know, you just go, oh, yeah. That sort of thing. Well, that wasn't the worst thing people used to say to me, having red hair. There were some awful ones. There was, do I tell you? Ginger Minge was the worst, and Rusty Crutch. Those were the worst ones. Now, they did get the odd slap, those people. Well, they were kids, basically. I was a kid, they were kids. But they were the worst nicknames. Other than that, you've been sunbathing under a tea strainer. That was another one. Of course, they always thought they were the first as well to say that. And they weren't. That was, you know, obviously a little jibe at my freckles. I'm steaming up. I must be running a little bit of a temperature, I think. And having tea is probably making it worse. I do. Let's go put my fan on. Ooh. Probably because I've got a blanket on as well. Oh, that's nice. Oh, and on the way back, there's a few little pubs around here. And to say thank you for my trainers, I took Gary in and bought him a couple of beers. And they had music on, but it was very quiet. But we didn't stay too long. I thought, I've got to go and wind that ball up. I honestly don't know what goes wrong with my winder. It just seems to get all trapped in on itself. Got to be something I'm doing, surely. I kind of, in a fit of temper, I mean, I've been known to have them. I yanked it off, well, obviously I undid it first, and I yanked it off and I threw it in the bin. It probably won't stay in there, you know. It wasn't a cheap. And it's one of those that does big balls, and it worked perfectly fine before. So, but it was just me going, "You're rubbish." Threw it in the bin. It's only a bin that's got paper in it, you know. It's not got tea in it or anything like that. Oh, come to an end. It's got what's in my bin? It's in the yarn van. So when I pack orders and I tear the strip off for the sticky, there's hundreds of those in there. Sticky, you know, polythene strips that stick to the sticky. Hundreds of those. And sticker reels and insides of tape. Yeah, that's all that's in it is packaging. And a big yarn ball winder at the moment. I will rescue it from the bin. But I just had to get out of there. It was so annoyed with myself. So annoyed. Seriously. It's probably me being illogical of the way I wind, you know, thread it up or something. I don't know. I can't see that there's any other way. Okay, so I either have, yeah, I think I have to attach it to this orange one. Little ball first. That was the one that was the beginning. Of course, it's all back to front. So now my patterning should change. It should do. Whether it will remains to be seen. Right then, where was we? So I'm having some strange sleep patterns. So I've been not able to go into my normal live streams that I'd pop into now and then. I've missed them. And then I wake up in the night and then I look and MICHI'S on. So I pop in and say hello. But last night I had to try and sleep because I thought if I don't, I might not wake up for the postman. That would be really embarrassing. And as it was, I got up really late. At the moment, I'm not caring. It's, you know, I'm just happy to be sleeping now. Because at the beginning, when I had this virus, I was awake all night. It's not affecting Gary that way. So it was just me that had sleeplessness. And that was very annoying. So I wanted to go and have a look for some yarn. And I popped into Poundland. Was it standing on the ball? What's happened here? I popped into Poundland to see if they had any new stuff yesterday. Not a ball. They had that awful stuff that feels like the freebies you get in magazines. Had that. And they had some of the colours, you know, but not the ones I'd want to get. So I didn't get any. And then I went into B&M and because I said to Gary they haven't had any new yarn in here for years. But I have to keep checking because if they did, I wouldn't know about it. So popped in there, not a single ball of new yarn. And they did have some yarn, but very little. The actual shelf has diminished, you know, gone. Whereas it used to be quite wide and they'd have all the varieties they do. Now they've got half of it and they just have a few in. But I ended up buying some Christmas presents for the kids instead because they had toys in. So no yarn though, no yarn. And then I thought maybe I'll go to Pound Stretcher. But the last time I went to Pound Stretcher, they probably have less now than they did then, and they didn't have very much. Hang on, let's bring that up and we will hide these tails. So it doesn't look like it will change the colour scheme. Maybe it will when I get to the next one, because I've kind of obviously inverted them. It's a good word, isn't it? Inverted them. Okay, so quick slurp of tea. Oh, that's lovely now. Just right. So with the white, I'm going to bring it along a little bit so that I can work that in as well as weave it in. I can't sew ends in, you know. I did a video a little while back on how I do this sort of thing. I did it because I did the video ages ago, and then, well, a certain big YouTuber did the same video, and but it did actually cause a little bit of wrath of my subscribers, some of them. Okay, I'll do the other one as I go up. Right then, here we go. Oh, hang on. That's it. Might have made that stitch a bit too tiny. It's because it had a knot. Okay, there we go. And let's do that. The trouble is it's harder to see the stitches now. Don't worry about that. There we go. That's it. We're cooking. So what have you all been doing? Have you been making things? Are you doing anything specific? I saw that what's it called? Project Linus. I did see that when I was in one of the shops over in the US, and I know that one of my subscribers does make stuff for Project Linus. And there's also obviously Boggy Creek, which is this one. So are you making anything for any charities? It doesn't have to be like ones like well known. Are you making squares, sending them to anyone? I know Billy was asking for the 6-inch ones, and I watched her the other day. That's the Crafty Floridian making sorry, Gary's making some noises out there that are a little bit rude. Burping. Hope you didn't come out on the video. Anyway, he usually moans at me for burping. Cheers. Hang on. So she was making up blankets with all the squares that she gets sent, and also Damn It dolls. And I did message her, because you had to message her if you wanted one. So I did message her and said, oh, I know what I want, that Damn It doll. But I haven't heard back from her yet. I think I need a Damn It doll in my life. Everyone needs a Damn It doll. I also need a No Drama Llama, but that needs somebody out there who takes pity upon me to make me a no Drama Llama. If that is you, then this is your challenge. I need a No Drama Llama. I do. And I need a kindly soul who loves doing amigurumis to make me a No Drama Llama. I'm not an amigurumist, I must admit. Gary always says I should do it. I should make toys. And I've had all these grandchildren, so I suppose I should have. But, you know, I haven't been inclined to do the amigurumis. I need someone who's good at it. Need someone who's good at it. Need a No Drama Llama. And possibly an emotional support chicken. I haven't got one of those either. I'm neglected. That's what it is. Neglected in the animal department. And neglected in the animal department. Never mind. Well, I'll be certainly glad when this one's done. Whose idea was it to make one with a really small stitch? I need to blow my nose. Oh my God, I hate that. Let's see if I can leave it. It's not drippy, so we're all right. It's just annoying. When I was a kid, when I was a little girl, I used to be able to sniff, you know, and I used to do it all the time. And I can remember being told, don't sniff, you know, and I could really sniff it back. Now, the whole idea of sniffing makes me feel sick. And I'm saying to Gary, don't sniff, blow it. Ugh. But it's weird how you change when from a child, you know, it's like sniff. And now it's like, no, don't sniff. I'm just babbling away on it. I'm going to finish this tea because it's too nice not to. Starting the diet any day now. I know I've been threatening it, but I am going to. But Gary had bought some shortcake, like shortcake biscuits. And he sort of halved them. And he said, oh, all the shortcake that are left are yours. I thought, I don't really want to eat all those. So I shared them with him. But before I had this tea, I I had a little shortcake, and it kind of tastes even more like biscuit tea than it would, because it's even more biscuity with the shortcake. Not that I dipped it in, because that would just disintegrate. Bear with me a moment, it's got to go. Oh, it's good. Sorry if you heard the gulp. Might have to blow my nose. Really don't like doing this. It's been very blowy. Hang on a sec. I'll just be here a moment. You'll hear it though. Hang on. Oh, that was noisy. It squealed. Oh no, it even needs some more blowing now. Hang on a sec. I will be right back. Oh my goodness, sorry. Better out than in. Right. Trust me, to need a nose blow, and my nose gets embarrassing and squeaks. Typical. I'm getting tangled up. Here we are. Oh, I still need to blow it, but that's enough now. Don't need to blow it any more than that. I could blow my brains out. Something missing. Here they are. Eyeballs, that's what's missing. So, yeah, I started to do a little project with some of the yarn that I got in the US. I'll show you it. It's only small. Here it is. This is with the Peaches and Cream. Now, I know that there was a cone, and the cone was very heavy, and although I thought we were at a limit with the cases, because Gary told me, you know, and I thought, oh, tell me the weights and stuff. I didn't think I could get much more, but as it was, he was reading the pounds and not the kilograms, so I could have got like 3 times as much yarn as I actually got, guys. Never mind, you live and learn. But this stuff is the Peaches and Cream Stripey, and when I watched Juan, the yarn addict, he made a chunky monkey market bag. That's what he made, and I'm sure he made it with what he called concrete and cream. It was either that one, or I think it was the chunky monkey market bag. Twins at a stitch. No, anyway, I digress. And he used to call it concrete and cream, or what was it? One was concrete and cream. What was the other thing he said? It might have been peaches and concrete. I don't know. But this isn't it, because this is soft. This is quite soft and stripy. But there was a cone, and the cone was a lot tougher. No, that was concrete and cream. So I should have got that cone. I didn't think I had enough weight allowance in the case, but I really wish I'd plumped for that, because this project would have been better with concrete and cream. Just saying. That's all floppy and cream. Floppy and cream, that is. And I need the concrete. Oh well. I do have some Lily and Sugar, which is a bit concrete and cream somewhere. Don't know where, but I don't have enough of any one colour, so that's why I can't get comfy. One of these days I'll have a little, you know, perfect little den to, you know, that is comfy and all set up with a little rocking chair. I'd love a rocking chair, actually. You know, just saying. I would. This chair's meant to rock, but it doesn't. It swivels, but unless it's just not been put together quite right, which won't surprise me. These glasses, they make my eyes look really big. Gigantic green balls. That's what they seem like from here, anyway. Do seem big. Oh dear. So yeah, we'll do some live streaming. I was thinking about it because I've been, you know, as I said, I've had quite a few sleepless nights, but I couldn't do it at the time because I was just one big snotty sneeze fest, and you can't do that on live streaming. I know it's not contagious, but it's just not attractive, is it? Constantly sneeze, 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 and blow, blow. I don't know. I just don't understand this thing. It's, you know, it goes, it comes back, it goes, it comes back. It's annoying. Wonder if I'll ever be free of it. So there shouldn't be a big amount on this. It was only I just get so angry with it, honestly. I yanked that one off, cut it. I threw a bit in the bin because I tried again and it snarled up again, and I thought, oh. So then I started again and it was going really well, and I thought, yes. All of a sudden it was like jam. I was like, oh, why? Does it can't be just me, surely. Please, if it happens to you, tell me, because, you know, I think I would at least feel better knowing it's not just me. I'm not good with equipment. I have to say this, right? Years ago, I used to work for the ambulance service, and I worked in the control room, and I used to get a lot of people say to me, you should come out on the road. It's so much nicer. It's so much less than the people are nice. It's so much a nicer job. You know, you're out on the road and out in the fresh air, and you're not cooped up in a control room for 12-hour shifts. And, you know, it's rewarding, and you've got a really good manner, so you'll do really well on the road. You just got the right kind of people skills and stuff. So I said, okay, I'll give it a go. So I went for the test, and there was several tests you had to complete, and answer all these questions and watch little videos, and then do comprehension tests on it and everything else, and identify equipment, and then they started showing us the equipment. And it's, you know what really put me off more than anything else? Oxygen tanks. I cannot cope with pressurized containers, gas barbecues. I've got a gas barbecue, but I can't really. I'll turn it on and then I'll light the gas, but I can't connect it up, and it worries me when other people connect it up that they've done it right. You know, when it comes to gas bottles, pressurized containers, I get really freaked out. I don't like them. And laryngoscopes as well. Like, oh, not that I wouldn't have to necessarily do that until I was kind of qualified enough, but, you know, I would have been qualified enough. I'd have pushed myself. But yeah, even the stretcher, sorry, as you call them, gurneys over across the pond, but even that, it was all metal, and, you know, the word ratchets and clanky bits, and it just freaked me out. I thought, I can't do that. I was better off with the computer, so that's what I did. I stayed in the control room. But I probably would have had a lovely time of it if I'd, you know, just pushed to overcome that and gone out on the road. It would have been I bet I would have loved that job. But like a farty, I just stayed in my little comfort zone. Yes, well, uncomfort, should I say. It wasn't it wasn't really comfort. My uncomfort zone. Another row bites the dust. There we go. Get in there. It's such a big one now when you turn it. Right, how far we got? Let's make that bigger. I can't remember what was the end colour. I would say purple, because that is... I've still got a ways to go yet on that one. So annoying, you know. Why can't equipment just function the way it's meant to? Why can't I function the way I'm meant to either? You know, just put your blooming yarn in it, turn the handle and it works. That's all I ask. It's not too much, is it? Not too much to ask at all. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. So yeah, we're kind of toying with the idea of next time having a little boat trip, and if we like it, maybe our next holiday, proper one, will be a cruise. I don't like flying, and I must admit, after the last 10.5 hour sitting next to Mr. Snotbox, I think Gary was like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to. If next time we'll have to fly a better class, I called it steerage. You know, like the Titanic. It's like, that's what it felt like. Cattle class, you know. We were, oh heck, look at that. We were herded in, no arm room, no leg room. And it's not good for long haul, is it? You're meant to have a bit of wriggle room. You need wriggle room. But anyway, it wasn't comfy, and you need comfy for that amount of time. If it was a short haul, yeah, you can kind of put up with that a bit, you know, for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4. But anything over there, you kind of need a bit of space. You need your leg room and everything else. So it made everything difficult. And you know that, have you been on an airline lately? Like cattle class, steerage. But the little drop down things, they're not the same as they used to be. They're in 2 parts. So you can have half of it or all of it open. But it's not big enough to put anything on. Your little tray. So you've got your glass of water or whatever it is. And then you put your little something down on it and it's like, no, where am I going to put the rest? Yeah, it's just weird. So I just, before I die, I would just like to experience going on either first class, club class, or whatever they call it class, business class, super duper, all the trimmings class. I'd just love to. I know it'd be a ridiculous price, but I feel like I need to try it. Oh, this is uncomfy. I've just nothing but moan, haven't I? I do apologise. I'm not usually so whingy. I'm usually far more professional than this, aren't I? I always say that. I say like, oh, to all my new people watching me, I'm usually far more interesting and usually far more professional and fun, yeah, than this. Less snotty for a start. Definitely less snotty. So I've got this message to book up my flu jab, and Gary got a message to book up the COVID jab. It always amazes me how he gets the message when he isn't. He was misdiagnosed with angina. He doesn't actually have any problems, and I'm the one who does, and I don't get the message. yeah, kind of like, okay. So anyway, we would book up, both of us, to go have that jab. But when they sent us the messages, I was ill, and it said like, you can book up your flu jab, we're doing it this week. I thought, I can't have it this week, I'm ill. You know, you can't really have a flu jab on top of typhoid, can you? Amoebic dysentery, beriberi, whatever it was. It's getting heavy now. Once it starts to fall, it's very weighty. I'll have to measure it soon because, you know, it's got to be a certain size for Boggy Creek. So I don't want it getting too long. Not that I think it is at the moment. And also, I've got to be mindful of the fact that I want to put a nice wide border around it. So I actually have done the tutorial for this stitch. I will remember to put a link at the end of it to this stitch tutorial. Obviously it won't give you the border, but you can put any border on you like, basically. And you know, if you use plain yarn and stripe it, which is what the very first tutorial that I ever did on YouTube was this blanket. and I did it in teal colours, with a white and a lighter teal stripe in it. So I did so many rows of one, and then a couple of thin stripes, then so many more rows, and I did it that way, and I made it for my grandson. Now, the only problem being the tutorial was my first one, and nobody ever really likes their first videos that they've put on. They look back and cringe and think, oh my goodness, you know. So what I did was I decided to get rid of it and do it again. So I have refilmed the actual stitch tutorial, and I call this my Rocky Road stitch because it is very similar, I think, to, as it's seed stitch, seed I think it's called, and I don't know if it's linen stitch. They've got 20 million names, some of these stitches, but it's similar to it, but it's different. It's my own take on it, and I kind of like it. It's got like a square bobble that goes along. So yeah, I'll put it at the end if you want to have a little look. And I have a right-handed and a left-handed version, and they do link to each other, so if you're in one you should be able to find the other. So yeah, this one's already been done. I do also have a square that, well, two squares, sorry. I have a square that I've been working on, but for going over, I decided to take a WIP with me, and I couldn't take that particular WIP because it's scrappy blanket. There's like lots and lots and lots of colours, so I thought I can't really take all that. I would take the other one, the new one. Well, when we boarded the plane, this was on the way out, we took all of the stuff I wanted to do was in our carry-on bags, and I had a big handbag as well, a gigantic handbag, and in there I had my book and my earphones. I'm only like in here, you know, little ones, but I had a lot of bits and pieces, like Gary's Kindle in there and stuff. So all of the yarn and the stuff was in the carry-on. So because airplanes, airlines, they don't board the plane from the back and then fill up the plane, which would be logical, wouldn't it? They board the plane from the beginning. So the people at the back, they get on last, and everybody's in the way. It's still faffing about with their overhead lockers and stuff. And by the time you get on, all of the overhead lockers are gone if you're last. So it was right up the end of the plane, and I didn't, you know, I couldn't go get everything. So that was that. And we're just stuck up there. And then on the way back, I just stuck it in a case, because having sat in the plane seat, with knowing what little room I had, and yet on the way out I sat on an aisle seat, and I had a lot more room, because obviously you can lean out into the aisle. But on the way back I had the window seat, and there was 3 of us. There was me, Gary and Snotty Man, and I was stuck like this most of the way, because I had the wall there and Gary, who didn't want to sit too close to Snotfest. So I had no room to crochet anyway, so I just watched movies on the way back. I didn't even read my book because they turned all the lights down, because we suddenly got to although it was daytime, all of a sudden it became nighttime, because on the way back you leapfrog overnight. You know, nighttime only lasts for a couple of hours, but it was still dark on the plane, so everybody could sleep, and I couldn't sleep because it was, you know, afternoon for me, not nighttime. Anyway, so I didn't get any crochet done on it, and I didn't really do any while I was away, because we were just too busy going out and doing stuff. So I didn't get any more of that done. But I will show it to you on my next one, and I do have tutorials for that anyway. So the new one, I must get on and make some more, because I'm terrible really. If I walk away from a WIP and it's my own design, even if 9 times out of 10 I haven't written them down, but even if I do, when I come back to it, I can't really remember what I was doing. So and I know that, you know, I've done a lot since I made one of those, and so I really do need to brush up on what it is and how I was making it. It won't be difficult. Once I get going, I'll figure it out. And what another thing that annoys me about me is that I've got about maybe 50 books, and each one I've written in. So I don't think I fill up that book first, then find another book. I think, oh, I need to write this pattern down. There's a book. And so I have no idea if I've written it in, where it would be and what book. And I'd have to look through them all. And I wish I was more organised, you know, and just use one, fill that one to the end. Maybe have a little index or no, isn't it? No, not. I think, you know, when I was younger, that's what I would have been like. I was far more organised when I was younger. I just got more slovenly as I got older. So I ain't got time for that. Nobody got time for that. When you're younger, you've got all the time in the world. All the time in the world to do your indexing, alphabetise your record collection and your CDs. Just do it all, don't you? Get older, it's like, shove it in there, just put it in. You know, I'll find it somehow. And you don't. Oh well. I wish I could still be that anal, to be honest with you. Hang on. That wasn't the right stitch, was it? Neither was that. Was it? Yes, it was. I had the wrong stitch in there. I was chatting away. Not concentrating. I can't believe when we was in Vegas, we went to a yarn store. I think it was Hobby Lobby, and everywhere I looked was Christmas stuff. And because I was on my summer holiday and it was September, it just seemed like, whoa, that is so soon. And in this country, if you start putting Christmas stuff in shops before Halloween and bonfire night, people usually up in arms about it. But I've seen Christmas everywhere. You know, there is just Christmas stuff in the shop. It's like almost like we all need Christmas and we all need it to start happening now. And nobody's saying, oh my God, there's stuff in the shops, it's Christmas, it shouldn't be there. People are actually buying it. What would you like for Christmas already? And getting their stuff together. And I know that you need some, you know, quite often need to budget and do it gradually, but it just feels like, well, it's September, guys, you know, September, you know. I'm always the one that, but you know, does it early, and I've done it again. Hang on a minute. You know, gets my things in early, does my Christmas present buying, but it's kind of a shock. It's almost like, wow. And when people say, well, it's only so and so far away, and you think, oh, yeah, it is actually. So yeah, be honest before we know it. Crimble. But we haven't even had Halloween yet. I haven't made any Halloween tutorials this year. I did my pumpkins last year, but I haven't done one this year. I've still got time, I know, but I haven't got any ideas. Ideas are few and far between in my brain at the minute. I had a few, but all I have is congestion in there. So maybe when I get better, you know, I'll start to feel more productive, I suppose you could say. You know what I mean? Somebody wrote to me, one of my subscribers, and said that they'd lost, they didn't say the word crojo, but it amounts to the same thing. You know, they kind of they were making something, getting on with it, and then all of a sudden didn't do anymore. And I said, well, unfortunately, I have far too many UFOs. I do understand that myself, and some of them I get on really, really well with, and this is the annoying thing, isn't it? Because I mean, like the I was mentioning it earlier, or it might have been on my chat, the stall cover that I was doing, and it is virtually finished, and all I've got to do is fit it and, you know, kind of sew it, and kind of maybe do a bit of trim here and there, and, you know, get it looking good, because it's all done basically, but something always holds me back, and I have no idea what it is. And I just realised how much brightness is in my light. I'm probably irradiating your eyeballs out, I don't know, but usually I tone it down. But then there's really precious little light outside. It's very dark today. It's not a good day for light. Well, I'm going to get to the end of this row, which is near enough done, and call it a day, because I've already got 51 minutes going, and I don't feel like I've done that many rows. Maybe I talk too much. Might be a bit boring watching someone who doesn't talk, though. This is a perfect job for someone who talks a lot, isn't it? Really, if you think about it. So let's have a look at the colours, if they are staying consistent or moving. Can't get that in. That one was too tight. End one can be. So yeah, they're consistent still, aren't they? It is an odd one. It's the ice cream yarn. It is quite big. It's square now. It is, it's a square. But it started off like that, and then it travelled across that side. And I wonder now if it's going to start travelling across this side. I don't know, maybe. Anyway, thank you for joining me and listening to me babble away in the corner. Don't forget to tell me what you're making, and we'll sort of get on with that other little whip. I'm in two minds about it. I'm in two minds because I've got two designs in my head for it, and one uses, well, I can't tell you, but I've got enough yarn to do either, and also got other colours that I bought while I was there, so I have enough yarn to make both, which could be a thing, couldn't it? I could do both. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully this thing will be finished soon. Now I've got a ball of yarn, I can do some in front of the TV later. And if I had wound the ball up earlier, then I could have got on with it so many times. But those ice cream yarn balls, they just fall apart and tangle up. Even on the wall winder, they just melt down and they don't look good. So it gets all tangly. So I've got one more left, and I think I've got another one in my yarn stash somewhere that I'd started on and I never finished anything with it. So I know I do have another ball somewhere. That'd take some searching though. So I'm hoping that I've got enough with this one and the other. I think I do. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.